Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, what's up? Glad you're back. I'm just gonna start with a little update as to why I didn't post this video on time. So I had it all done and then I went back to review it and I forgot one of the biggest things that happened in 2020, and that's what this video was supposed to kind of go over. So basically how my off season was, because I wasn't very present on YouTube or anything like that. So how my off season was, how my health was, some of the things I got straightened out before I went back into a prep. And yeah, so without including that, I just couldn't post this video. So I am adding on a bunch of stuff and basically combining 2 videos into one. But yeah, I think I'm like the queen of overcommitting to things, because I get so excited about doing all this stuff and being able to just be pulled in so many different directions, and I don't have enough time in the day for that with prep. Now, if prep wasn't a thing and I still didn't have enough time because of all that I was doing or something, I would just sacrifice sleep. But sleep is a really big part of my recovery for prep, so I sleep 7 to 8 hours, and I get up at 6:30. So literally just ran out of time because I am working more than I ever have during a prep. So in 2017, I was in my first national level prep and I was in school and I didn't have a job at that time, and I was in a sorority. So I had plenty of time to kind of after those things were taken care of, basically I had plenty of time to lift or work out or whatever lift or workout. Anyway, whatever I had to do, I had enough time for it. And then my 2019 prep, I had a lot less clients than I do now. And I am very, very blessed with how our business has exploded since me and Brandon, my husband, merged our 2 businesses together at the start of 2020. And instead of it just being my clients plus his clients, I guess the hype of it or whatever we did caused it to explode at the beginning of 2020. So yeah, that was rough. But I'll just use that as a little segue into 2020 recap. So 2020, before the whole pandemic started, huge months. I've never worked that much in my life, and it was overwhelming, very overwhelming for me and for Brandon. But I wasn't prepping at the beginning of it, so I could handle it. And as we got more used to that workload, we got more efficient with our time and faster, and we were able to handle it now. So that's kind of what happened with business. And I'm looking at my phone because I made some notes on what I was going to say about each month of 2020. Okay, so in regards to my health, I'll just start after my show in 2019. My last show was August 2019. It was North Americans, and that's when I got 2nd place. And I had been prepping for 32 or 33 weeks straight, so I was not going to try to stretch it to Miami. If you are in the competition world, you probably know that the next show after North Americans it's 12 weeks after, and it's Miami Nationals. So I was not about to prep for a whole another 12 weeks. That would not have been good for my body. North Americans was already pushing it a little bit, but I'm so glad we did push it to there, because it turned out really well. And I had a good, even after my show, I didn't go eat a bunch of food and gain a bunch of weight. I gained a healthy amount of weight and just returned myself to a normal body composition. After your show, when you do start reversing, there's a lot of mechanisms that come on in your body that tell you, hey, you're hungry, you're hungry, you're hungry. Basically, your body's trying to survive. It's trying to get you back to homeostasis and balance your hormones. Reversing is 10 times harder than a prep, at least to me, and from my experience with a lot of clients. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. and just like you ruined yourself in prep or something like that, but I promise it's not. Like, it's just your body trying to return, and the faster you get back to a healthy body composition, the better. That doesn't mean go eat a bunch of food, but I can get into that in a whole nother video if you guys want. I can cover some reverse dieting, let me know in the comments, but I will start. So like I said, I returned to a pretty good body fat percentage, and I had a umbilical hernia. So it was a hernia about that big, about an inch above my belly button. So I needed to get surgery on it to like correct it. When I went to the doctor, they were like, yeah, you either get surgery on it now or you do it in the emergency room in like May 2020. So I was like, okay, so this is actually something that needs to be fixed. So I did go get my hernia surgery, and it went really well. They did it laparoscopically. I just have 3 very small scars. They healed super well. I'm so happy, because I've seen, I mean, hernias are pretty common in, I think it's more in like men, like in body. Okay, sorry about this pause. I recorded my entire talk, and apparently my memory card was full after a couple minutes. So here we are again. I just ate and cooled down because I was pissed, and now we're back. But as I was saying, I've seen on a lot of like bodybuilders, their hernia repairs like completely destroy how their midsection looks, especially like on stage and everything. So I'm super thankful for mine being really great, and yeah, that's where we were with that. So after hernia surgery, so I was out of the gym, it was like 12 weeks-ish, and when I did get back in, it was hard. I had to basically like relearn how, reestablish the strength in those muscles there. So that was just a lot, and that actually ran me right up to, I think I was back in the gym normally for about 4 weeks before I started prep again in 2020. So I started prep, and basically, I'm gonna kind of sum up everything I said because it took way too long last time. But basically, as shows got canceled and moved closer to our wedding, I just decided after a few shows being moved that it just wasn't the time, and I didn't want to be like shredded in my wedding dress. I didn't want to have like a huge, like complete diet face in my wedding dress, because then I'd look back on the pictures and be like, that doesn't even look like me, or you know. So we stopped prepping. Then it is like March or April, so obviously with the pandemic and stuff, everybody's like energy in the world was really low, and or just like so I started like lose motivation, and now of course I preach all this like, oh, motivation's temporary. Yes it is, but just I've never felt so low, and I noticed around my periods that I was actually having like extreme anxiety for me. I was having like panic attacks and like depressive episodes. So I won't say I have anxiety or have depression, because I think having something like that and just feeling it momentarily are 2 different things that not everybody can differentiate. But I realized that, okay, this is not me, this is not normal. So that was all through the summer. And with that, my acne got much worse. Then I started looking into like natural things, like, okay, environment. I had a really good skincare routine, like nothing harsh. I know what works for like the little ones that are caused by sweat or whatever, but all of the big cystic ones are hormonal. But I wanted to take out as many factors as I could, like break it down. I did so much research. I literally, like if you go look back at my Google searches, it was like, how long does dermatology school take? Because I became so engulfed in learning about my skin and like acne and just all the different things you can do, that I was like, man, I wish I could help other people if I find something out for myself. So of course I was looking into that. Oh my God. But I'm not gonna be a dermatologist, by the way. Or an esthetician. I have too much else going on. But with all of that, I switched to like natural products, switched my laundry detergent, all of our soaps, like we already had a water softener, like, you know, I was using all the environmental angles towards my acne, and in like also towards hormonal issues. So I was like, okay, something's wrong, I need to try to fix it. And a big part of high estrogen is environmental factors. So, you know, cutting down on chemicals, there's a lot of big words that I truly haven't tried to pronounce, but I read them on a paper and I know what they are. Sorry. But there's a lot of stuff that I like cut out of my life and kind of like restructured the way I do things. Okay, so in July, I finally inquired with an RD. Her name is Lacey Dunn. I'll put her website in the description box, but I am a believer in testing before you treat. I was this close to going back on Accutane. I've taken it twice in my life, both in high school. So the last time was 2013, 2014. And I can also make another video on that. If you guys want it, please let me know. I can talk about Accutane forever, and I am not a fan. It works, but there's so many things that come with it. So I was that close to getting on Accutane. I've taken other medications and like antibiotics, thought about that too, but I've worked so hard for like my gut health, and I don't know, I just really don't like taking medicine because nothing's ever worked for me long term. So I inquired with Lacey and we did the works when it comes to like blood tests and everything. We tested all blood markers that could possibly have anything to do with acne, and I even like peed in a little carton for a day, just to get as much information as we possibly could. So after we got that back, my estrogen was very high. It was 526, I believe, and that's total estrogen. And testosterone's low, always has been low, but that estrogen was like a big red flag. So my body, with everything that was happening, like the acne, the crazy weird hive breakouts that I was having, like I was just so inflamed. And basically my body is not processing estrogen correctly. It's like estrogen has different phases. I'm not going to go into that because that's not what this video is about. But basically my body wasn't able to get rid of the bad stuff, and that was causing it all to obviously stay inside my body, and it was coming to the surface and showing in many different ways. So we started working on that with different supplements. So I won't say all the supplements because I think they are individual to me, and I don't want to influence any of you to go out and buy something that you may or may not need, or that could possibly hurt you if, yeah. So they're all natural supplements, but I was taking a good bit of pills for 12 weeks, and it started improving in that 12 weeks. So it started improving probably after 6 weeks of it. So I think the biggest one there was, I'll just name one, it's a DIM supplement. So it's estrogen detoxification, estrogen metabolism supplement. And that started changing my skin. So I started getting less and less cystic acne, and by probably 8 to 10 weeks in, I noticed that my PMS symptoms of like a lot of anxiety and depression, and just feeling really just bad about myself or about life in general, just uninterested in everything, unmotivated, that started to improve and not become so extreme as it was, 8 weeks prior and all summer. So since I wasn't present on YouTube, this is why I feel like looking back on it, it's kind of like an out-of-body experience, but I didn't realize how bad I felt until I started getting better. So that sucked, but we're feeling much better now, and I don't really have those same things happen. And then after this 12 weeks, I was like, okay, so things are clearing. My skin started to clear up, and I wasn't getting as much acne as I was before, and my body was starting to feel better. So like when you have high estrogen, you tend to hold more fat in your butt and legs and hips, and some people hold it in their lower stomach. I don't, like with my genetics, I never really hold much fat in my lower stomach. So, but when I started taking these supplements, I noticed that my body composition was going back to where I am used to it being and where it's always been. So I started like losing fat around my butt and legs and just started to look like myself again. And that was a really cool sign, because with that, I hadn't tested my blood again yet, but I had like real confidence that it was going down, like the estrogen, my hormones were being balanced, or, you know, on their way. So that, and then, okay, this is the gross part. So we did a stool test. If you don't know, it is a lot easier to fix a hormonal imbalance when you have a healthy gut. So much of our health starts in our gut, and I was like, okay, so I'm still having like constipation, blah, blah, blah. And I've had that a long time. I used to think I had IBS, but when we did this stool test, with all the markers, she interpreted that I do not have IBS because I don't have any inflammation in, I think it was my intestines, or much inflammation at all. Like those numbers were very low. But what I did have was a assortment of overgrowth of bacteria in my gut, which can cause bloating, constipation, like it can just cause all kinds of things. One big one was H. pylori, which is very common. And then this is the kicker, this is the really gross part. Get ready, I'm just kidding. But I had a couple different parasites. So these parasites can be gotten from, you know, you go out to eat and, so gross, but like the chef or something maybe didn't wash their hands as much and they had it and, you know, got in your food or something. It can get from unfiltered water. I was at like a lake very often, and I probably swallowed some lake water. Like I could have had that for 6 months. I could have had it for a year. We don't know, but one of them was like potential to become dangerous, and she was like, you can either go to a traditional doctor, like a Western medicine doctor, and you can take like an antibiotic, I think it's an antibiotic or something, and it'll kill it off, and that's like a really short thing, or you can do it my way, like the natural way, and we can eradicate it through natural supplementation. So I worked so hard for what I thought was a healthy gut, and so I went through the natural route because I haven't taken antibiotics in years, and I don't want to because I don't like them and I don't like the effects of them. So I was taking a ton of pills. Like if I still had them, I would show you guys, but like a lot of pills daily, multiple times a day. I had it on a spreadsheet, like timed out, just because some couldn't be taken with others, and it was crazy. So lots and lots of pills for, I think it was 8 weeks. And at the end of those 8 weeks, I am so happy to say that we did eradicate the parasites. And remember, these are microscopic. It's not like I had a worm or anything. I'm sorry if you're squeamish, but it makes me gag. So, microscopic. And basically, these things happen on 2-week lifestyles. So they lay their eggs, they grow, they're adults, and then they die. It happens on 2 weeks life cycles. And the majority of my digestive issues were 2 weeks apart. And I was like, okay, so it has to be my ovulation and period, because that's pretty normal. But it turns out that that wasn't the case at all. It was actually because of parasites. And in that stool test, I found out from her, she said I have like a fantastic immune system, which I believe because Brandon had COVID in June, and I literally was like, come and get me, let's do this before our wedding. And I took care of him, I made his food, like I was around him the whole time and I never got sick. But because of that great immune system, I never showed a lot of symptoms of the actual parasites. She said I should be very sick, but I was never very sick. So that was good. I'm glad that's over, but I didn't share that with anybody. And because it was just gross, but I'm just gonna share it now since I'm recapping everything. So stool test showed that, and then this was a pretty recent stool test or something, like 6-8 weeks ago. But I did still have a H. pylori overgrowth, so we are now treating that with just a couple of different natural supplements, which I'm very happy about. It's only 4 weeks, and it shouldn't affect my prep at all. Yeah, so after we eradicated the parasites, I kept going on just like my more basic vitamins and supplements that she sent me, and we fixed my vitamin D deficiency, lowered my iron saturation, and yeah, that's what it was. And my estrogen went down 200 points. So I'm pretty happy with that. It can still be lower, it's still on the higher end of normal, but that's much better. And I feel so much better than what I did. And I think that's a big reason that this prep is going the way it is, because I am legitimately healthy and there's nothing like underlying anymore that I had no idea about. So crazy. So yeah, if you think you have IBS, maybe you should work with somebody to get something like that checked, because stuff like that's pretty common. Usually your body can get rid of parasites, like some sorts of parasites by itself, but apparently one of them that I had was very like relentless, and then we needed to treat it. I know that was gross, so sorry, but I'm just being honest. So that, and then it rolls around and I started my prep. So that goes to the first video. Started prep at 117. It was 300 carbs, 130 protein, 50 fat, and 0 cardio. So tomorrow I am 9 weeks out. I'm feeling good, feeling really good. This is where prep gets fun for me. And by fun, I mean that in a sick way. I really like to embrace the suck. And I know my body's functioning really well for me right now. We're still fighting that estrogen, but you know, like if I'm gonna hold water in or fat in my glutes and legs, then that just means I have to get leaner, right? So that's what we're gonna do. My projected stage weight, I think I'm gonna be around 110. At North Americans, I was 111. But I think I can get leaner than that. And even with some added muscle, because I definitely have added muscle up top, but I have lost some in my legs, so it kind of evens things out. So that's where I am with my weight and everything and my health. So I'm sorry that was so much. I'm just gonna leave this fully unedited because I just wanna get this video up to you guys because it's been so long. And yeah, so tomorrow is 9 weeks out. I'm doing junior nationals. This year it's in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I'm super excited. I've never been to Chattanooga, so I know it's beautiful. I'm really excited about what I can bring because I feel like I've put in so much work to make my health the best it could possibly be. And how I reversed properly through all of that, I have no idea. It's all like, I kind of look back and it's kind of like a blur. I think it was just like a constant like fire lit in me, like it's kind of a high pressure year for me, and I know I'm not competing for you guys that watch me or for anybody else but myself, but having set the bar so high at North Americans, I really want to make this my year, you know. And I'm never in it to beat one person, I'm never in it to take what's mine, I'm never in it to do all that stupid arrogant crap that other people do, and I can't stand that. No, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm in it to just do my best and that's what, you know. No, I'm in it to win, but I will just never be that person that thinks they're owed or entitled to something. And I'm sorry if that triggers some people, but I don't know. I don't think that's the way, that's not me, that's not the way I approach things. So I'm gonna stay in my lane. I would work in silence, but I kind of started a YouTube a couple years ago, and I don't know, I think you guys like me. So I'm not gonna work in silence, I mean technically, but I'm gonna film it too. So things are picking up right now, with vegetables included, because if you know the way I count, I usually don't count vegetables into my food, which I still don't. But I'm gonna say this just because it makes more sense to some people. currently I am on a carb cycle of 200, 160, a 1-to-1 carb cycle, and 130 protein and 40 fat. So, and I'm doing 5 times 45 minutes of fasted per week and 3 15-minute HIIT. So that right there, plus a few refeeds over the last few weeks, that hasn't changed. And we've been seeing steady progress. I think I've been getting stronger, which I always get stronger in prep. I think it's because I'm losing fat at such a slow pace that I am able to keep this strength, because I don't have that far to go. The rest of it's gonna come off my freaking butt. But that's where we are right now, and I'm very, very happy with where we are. So I'm gonna let you guys watch this actual video, the vlog I made 2 weeks ago. My bad. But it includes a really cool shoulder workout, or like my shoulder workout, and since that video I have actually PR'd on that lift, so that was solid, and lost like 2 pounds, so yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys watch that video and probably do a little wrap-up clip after. So thank you for listening to all of that. I know it was a ton, but I feel like it gives you a lot more insight into what I've been through, and it hasn't always been rainbows and butterflies, but we're here, we're in it, and enjoy the video.
Good morning, birthday boy. Happy birthday. Happy 6th birthday. I'm going to cardio. I'll see you later and we'll go on walking.
Good morning. So it's April 2nd. It is my dog's birthday, so we're gonna do fun stuff today. But I just wanted to take you guys through a day in my life with all the nitty-gritty details. I already did record this, and then I had to switch cameras because that one died. So I'm just gonna go through what I just did again. Yeah.
This year I said I'd be more, not more real, but more like stop overthinking what I'm recording and how I look. So I slept in these braids, so excuse whatever mess that you see right now. But my first thing I do after I get dressed, obviously, is take 2 of my supplements. So the first one is One Nutrition Greens. This is a green apple one, and it's great because if you don't like the greens taste, it like covers everything up. Love that. So I have 1 scoop of that, and then I have 1 scoop of the inositol powder that I take, that my RD has me taking. So anything that I say I take, I never recommend to you guys. I am a big believer in like testing what you need before you treat anything that's going on with you. In the last video I said there was a lot going on with me in 2020, and I'm still gonna get to that, but I wanted to get this day started because I got stuff to do. And the inositol powder is like, it supports emotional wellness and ovarian health. So I don't have PCOS, I don't have anything like crazy going on, I'm super regular, but I like my estrogen dominance and the treatment that we did for another part of my health kind of lowered my progesterone a little bit, so we're trying to regulate that back. But the inositol powder, apparently, and I've only read up on this, I'm more taking the recommendation of a doctor or an RD because I am not one, so I didn't like, you know, do a ton of research on this, but from my basic understanding, inositol powder reacts with or interacts with serotonin in your brain, which is a cause for a lot of anxiety and depression and or lack of, and yeah, so that, and then ovarian health, I know, like I said, it helps women with PCOS, so fertility, you know, stuff like that. So I've been taking that for like 3 days now, and I am on day 3 of my cycle. So now, like on day 3, I'm starting to look like myself again. I usually gain about 2 to 3 pounds of water weight on my period, so it's really scary every month. And And that's very normal for women, by the way. Like, I coach a lot of women, and a lot of people start freaking out when they're like, I never weighed myself before, but I feel like I'm going backwards. And I'm like, give it 4 days. And sure enough, every time the period ends, they're like, oh my God, I made so much progress. I'm like, yeah. So I've been on this for 3 days, and I feel like even like on my cycle, I've been very calm. Is it a placebo? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how fast this is supposed to work. But yeah, so an HUSTL powder. Take that for what you will, but I highly recommend asking a doctor or an RD before you do anything. I'm just sharing what I do. So yeah. And then I'm trying to cut down on my Starbucks intake. So, well, I have successfully from the pandemic and stuff, so I won't seem to drive through Starbucks a ton of times anymore, but I do have my plant-based creamer here at home. It has 4 carbs, 1.5 fat in each one. I have the same exact amount every day, and it's definitely less than a serving, so I usually don't count this. If you don't agree, I'm sorry, but I have it every day, so I don't count it. Just like, you know, like the fat in your fish oil. If you take it every day, don't count that. But I have the same amount every day. Eat. Okay. And then coffee. This is the unsweetened one, obviously. Yeah. And sometimes I add some sweeteners in there, but I've been trying to not do that until later in prep when I want that really badly or something. Just because I have seen them interact with my like digestion a lot. Not really bloating or anything, but just more like constipation. So yeah, just gonna avoid that. But I'm gonna put a lid on this, and it's time for fasted cardio. Okay, so just pulled up in the gym, but I just wanted, like I said, I just wanted to include like a little bit of everything that goes on in my life in this video because people are interested in seeing that for some reason. But on the way to the gym, it's like a one long song or maybe 2 song drive. And I grew up Catholic. I know it sounds random. I grew up Catholic, and we went to church every weekend. And when I moved out at 18, but like I still like went with my family a lot. And then I don't know. Obviously, I live far away from my church that I grew up in, so my faith looks a lot different now. Yeah, so I'm still Catholic. I'm still Catholic. I'm a confirmed Catholic, but I don't like practice as like diligently, I guess, or maybe just not the same as I did when I was a kid. So on the way to the gym, I live a very, very busy life, and on the way to the gym, I at least listen to this one song, and it is my form of starting the day with like my faith, my worship, like kind of like just setting a good vibe for the day, that everything that happens today is what is supposed to happen, and everything, you know, what I look like, how I feel, everything that goes on in my day is supposed to happen, and it's controlled by God and a greater plan than me. So if you are not religious, that's fine. Just think about it as like good energy. Yeah, you can think about it in whatever way you want. I'm not trying to force religion on you, but this is the song. It's Hillsong United. It's Oceans. Like, Spirit lead me where my, you know, feet may fall. So yeah, this is also the song that played on the violins and stuff, or the string quartet at our wedding when we lit our unity candle and became one in God's eyes. So it's really special to me. But yeah, I love this song. So now that I've gotten here, I'm gonna finish this song. It has about a minute and 30 seconds left, and then I'm gonna go get this cardio in. But it's a good start to the day.
Hello, friend.
My phone has no signal, it's like in my too, see them too. Welcome to the panic room. Welcome to the panic room.
Wasn't perfect today because I am on day 3 of this time of month, and I get, like I said earlier, I think, get really bad sciatic pain. Hopefully it's not like something crazy, but I have like a history of sciatic pain, so it's not that surprising. But that back post symmetry will get better because right now I'm like twisted on one side, and it kind of creates some weird looking stuff, but it'll get better along with my stretches and all that good stuff. But now I'm gonna go home, eat, and then I'm filming with Han, so I'll see you at the meal.
Just got home in a little bit of a time crunch, so quick breakfast. I usually have cream of rice, but right now this is all I have. So oats, almond butter. I am team crunchy, and 1UP vegan protein. So I found out I have an egg white sensitivity, so I usually like 8 eggs, but now I took them out for a really long time, like months, and then talked to my RD, and I want to like start reintroducing them slowly because the levels, like the reading could have been high because I was having so many egg whites. So we're gonna see what happens. So I'm having eggs like every other day. Basically, I wrote 2 meal plans because I'm on a carb cycle. So on the high day, I'm having eggs just because that's how it worked out in the meal plan. But right now I'm just having vegan protein to get this protein in. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I'm making my pre-workout. I just do 15 grams of intra-carbs, and then I actually do 8 grams of pre-workout because ever since I like fixed gut health and fixed hormonal things, I feel like I'm a lot more sensitive to caffeine, and I don't know, I get really anxious if I take too much caffeine now. Around there. Oh. 8? No? Oh, 8. Okay. There you go.
We're at Alphalete, gonna film a push workout today. So it's one of my 2 push workouts for the week. This one's a little bit more focused on shoulders and less on chest than my Monday push workout, and it's Friday. But same warm up. I'm just gonna start with chest flies and superset with tricep, like push downs, and then we'll get going. I do not promote waist trainers because I think people abuse them. I don't use it to make my waist any smaller, really, because I don't wear it enough. Honestly, I think it's more like a mental thing than anything else, but it does feel good, and it provides a lot of like support for your core and stuff. And like I said, I'm on day 3 of that time of month, so I'm like, I feel very bloated. This is a lot tighter than normal. I got it. Oh, there we go.
this workout with a 70-degree press, just slightly more sitting up than an incline. I just find it just hits different, you know? So I use the Smith machine on all my presses because I usually work out by myself. So if I'm pushing to mechanical failure and I fail with the bar still on top of me, all you have to do is roll this forward and you won't die. So that's what I do. Smith machine bar weighs 15 pounds instead of 45, obviously, so you have to kind of track your weights a little bit different. But today I am going to go for 105, which looks like 135, for like 4 to 5 reps, because I've been stuck at 95 forever, but I can get like 8. So today's the day to push it a little bit further. So one big thing when I am going into my working set, I don't want to like exhaust myself. Sorry, of course it was deadlifting. I don't want to exhaust myself before I actually get to the lifts that I want to hit. So a lot of times I warm up with very lightweight, and I'm literally just doing reps until I feel like my shoulders are warm. So this can all be like learned. Obviously, if you're new to lifting, I don't expect you to like know when you're warmed up, but it's a trial and error thing. So. Oh, I feel good today.
Mike dropped back down a little bit before it goes on. So I was like, I'm going to set a cell limit for
Okay. Alright, we'll do it. I'm ready.
breathe.
Yes! Finally! That's a PR. So every once in a while, I'm gonna bump up in that weight. So 45s on each side is a little bit, I can't get a true working set with that, but it's good to test the load every once in a while because eventually I will be able to do that. So I'm just dropping down to my actual working sets. This is what I usually would have ended with. So going for 6 to 7 on this, and then we have a back off set. I gotta get 10. This is a back off set, so I'm just dropping down the weight a little bit and then going for 10. One more. Okay, so by the time I get to shoulder press, after the 30 degree, my shoulders are already gassed. So I used to be able to do a lot more than, what, 40s for 7 or 8, but that's okay. I still hit 2 working sets, and then I'm gonna drop down and do a back off set here too. Okay, so my last press of the day is close grip. So close grip is different from regular bench press. I'm using a bit more triceps here because I have no triceps and I'm just trying to make them grow, right? So I've gotten decently strong at this. This is the 135, which is 105 again. And last time I got 9, so today I need 9 or more. Is what I'm going for. Okay, so here, this is an exercise where I do higher reps, just because I can't go nearly as heavy. So usually it's about 12 to 15, 12 to 15, and then until failure for the 3rd set. But over the past whole year, I've been treating them more as an accessory just because I needed more development here and here rather than here because I already had that pop of like a side delt head. So lateral raises, I have like 3 sets of 10-ish. These are just until I'm tired. So yeah, so on lateral raises, you see a lot of people like strict form, no cheating. That's cool. Obviously it's effective too. But Brandon wants me to go a little bit heavier than I can go with strict form. So with strict form I can do like 25s. Today I'm doing 30s because on Monday he basically said, he's like, stop using 25s, I want you to use 30s even if you have to cheat a little bit. Because as long as you're cheating with the muscle you're using, you're still being productive. So increasing the load here with 30s instead of 25s. And they're not the prettiest, but they definitely work. like hands anymore. So.
Hey, it's a couple hours later and I just finished work. Well, work for now. But yes, I've just been staring at the screen for 4.5 hours. I was gonna film like some of my check-ins or something, but I don't really want to put my clients on blast. So, you know, without their permission, we don't post anything without their permission. So I'm obviously not going to do that. But all of my work consists of just like checking in with people. They send me, you know, their progress, pictures. So they like victories, like they hit a PR or they, you know, feel confident about themselves, something that happened in their lives. And then also like any mishaps. And then basically we work through them together and find a solution together on how, like what happened if they fell off plan or something like that. So, quick little plug, our training is hustleharder.com/apply if you would like to work with me. Right now I'm not taking on a lot of preps because I'm leaving those to Brandon because I am prepping my, like I'm also going through the prep process. So I don't want to like overload myself, but yeah, so my Friday check-ins are mostly lifestyle people, so that's pretty easy. Oh, and don't mind my dot here. Told you I'm gonna be a little bit more real, and obviously after I ate I like showered and stuff and I'm not about to put back on makeup. So yeah, just finished work and now, like I said earlier, it's Bear's birthday, so we're going to take him on a walk. It is beautiful outside. Yeah, I'm not gonna bring my camera with me, but my little baby's 6.
Go for a walk. There, come here. Come on, put your pants on. Maybe 1, 2. Stay there. Stay. Okay. Good. Yeah, you got your pants on. You got your pants on.
Here's the next meal. This is salmon. I made it in the air fryer yesterday and I just reheated it. I already ate like over half my rice, but yeah. And then here's just like sauteed spinach. And I did use some of my fats. I sauteed this with MCT oil and garlic, and then I just put salt and pepper on top of it. This is about 300 grams, well, was about 300 grams of spinach, but I use that as one of my fiber things. But yes, sit down. We get to watch some Netflix now. Just a little bit. We're finishing a show, so here you go. Okay, so this is not for me, but I'm making a little cupcake for Bear's birthday. This mix is, sorry, watching. This episode has like a Glee twist to it. I don't know what's going on. But this is angel food cake and then a regular cake mix. You just like mix it together and then you can make a 3-2-1 mug. Hold on. I don't know. Hold on. This needs to be turned down.
Stop! What are you doing? Get off the stage!
Singing my heart.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. So a 3-2-1 mug cake. It turns out like this. It's kind of spongy little cake. I do eat them in my off season, but obviously on prep, I have no idea what the macros are, but you can definitely figure it out. I just don't care enough to. So do that. I put some sprinkles in there. But what the cake is, so 3-2-1, you just get a tablespoon and you put 3 of the mix, 3 tablespoons of water, and then you put it in the microwave for 1 minute.
and you can put all stuff on top of it or whatever you want. But it really works. So, look at that. It's like a little cake. There we go. I made one for Joey too.
Joey.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear bear. Happy birthday to you.
What's he doing?
Happy birthday, baby. And then you got that. Oh my god. You don't like the birthday?
Good boy, Bear.
Good boy, bear. Oh. Joey, you're right.
The cake? Hey, no, this one. What? Go with my finger. Happy birthday, bear. I love you. Stop aging, okay? Stop aging. We've come to the last meal of the day. This is my cream of rice. It is the chocolate brownie flavor. And it came in today, so yeah. That's why I ate oats earlier and then cream of rice now. But this is what I usually eat. And then a scoop of vegan protein. Oh. Alright, so apparently I overfilled this bowl. But it's not going to waste. Okay.
Like I said before, I'm gonna do a whole nother video on a normal day in my routine because I woke up late that day and that was just, I don't know, I've been doing my taxes, I've been doing it was just too much. I don't think it was an accurate representation of my actual day. Oh. So, I'm just gonna end the video here. That's where we're ending. Tomorrow's 9 weeks out. I'm freaking pumped. Let's go kill these 9 weeks. I will see you guys on the next one after you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, bye.